Nervous?
You'll be great. Great. Okay?
Okay. Hi, I'm very nervous. I've never done this before. I can't believe I'm doing this. Yeah, I'm also an American export, but I've lived here for like over a decade. So maybe not so much. Basically, I got involved with women's rights like a few years ago after I gave birth to my daughter. Essentially, what's made me more bold and what's making it so I'm speaking now is that my daughter's called neurodivergent. You know, she's on the pathway to an autism diagnosis. She's nonverbal. So obviously, like, we're getting her therapy. We're going down the rabbit hole of reading about outcomes and what we could expect for her. And it's piqued me a million times more because I can see that the most vulnerable children and adults who can't speak for themselves, so nonverbal children and adults, they won't necessarily be able to sign. They might do Makaton, but that depends on other people knowing Makaton, so that limits their available communication. Then there's the picture exchange program, which is called PECS. It might be that my daughter picks that up and is able to use it. But again, she's limited then by the tablet that she would use to communicate with other people. And those are positive outcomes if she's nonverbal. She might not be able to communicate at all, outside of smiling, laughing, hugging. The idea that she might not have the right to, if something happens to me, if I'm not around to look after her, that she won't have female carers, the idea that she won't be able to say no, that it won't be protected for her in law, I cannot deal with. So that's why I wanted to speak up. Recently, J.K. Rowling and Helen Joyce and all these wonderful women posted an article about a teenager, nonverbal, autistic, and their parents were going through some legal trouble to try to ensure that their daughter has the right to single-sex services. And in that story, which I encourage you all to read, was a story of a 55-year-old woman who was nonverbal autistic, and she'd contracted AIDS while in care. Obviously, she can't say, how did this happen? She can't point to who did it. And that's who we have to fight for. That's who we have to stand up for. That's the thing. So I know that young women are typically okay with mixed sex spaces and they're the most welcoming and inclusive. I mean, according to the YouGov poll recently.
No, that poll is a lie.
Oh, okay. Fair enough then. But what I want to say is that even if you're personally okay with mixed sex spaces, it doesn't mean you have the right to say that everyone should be okay with it. So please think of that when you go to vote. Don't vote to give away rights that you might not need, but the most vulnerable who cannot speak up for themselves might need. Yeah. And just thank you to all you women and men being so wonderful and giving people like me strength to talk about this. Thank you.
Well done. It was great. Well done. Kind of makes it real, doesn't it?